Afternoon, evening, morning to you all. Welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. This evening, we want to do something a little different, but here's what we want to do. We want to do a compare and contrast. I think we'll be doing a lot more of that over the coming um, months. It'll be compare and contrast. We want to compare the statements made by Governor Seyi Makinde and make a direct comparison with what the People's General, if Sunday Igboho, the statement he makes, and how connected which of those statements from both the Governor Seyi Makinde, and People's General, if Sunday Igboho, which of them best connects with the citizens, and which of them makes the citizens more passionate and committed to actually taking steps to free themselves. Let's have a listen to what the Governor Seyi Makinde said. Apparently, he made his way down to the Abuja villa, they call it, and let's listen to what he has to say, shall we?
And security to lives and properties across the country. We believe that there will be value that will be added to the security disposition of the nation. We, knowing the current security environment.
Do beg your pardon. Let me just forward that a touch. I don't know what happened there, but I'm going to get there. No, that's not it. Now, keeps going back. I just want to give you a flavor of what he said. A second, we'll get it right in the end. Just bear with me. Right, here we go.
Knowing the current security environment, must do everything possible to add value to the security disposition, and that the expectations are high, and we're quite mindful of that expectation. So we collectively will work to achieve that.
Governors of Oyo and Ondo states also met separately with the president at the State House.
Together,
Governor Seyi Makinde explained afterwards at a briefing the disagreement with the activist Sunday Igboho over the ultimatum given to Fulanis to leave the state.
What triggered all of this? Yes, Mr. Dr. Aborode was brutally murdered. That is a criminal. But on the other hand, the Seriki Alhaji Abdul Kadir has been staying in that same place for 40 years. So quite frankly, the people that were after are the criminals. They are the hoodlums, the bandits, the armed robbers, the kidnappers. Those are the true enemy of the state.
Now, if you notice what he said there, he just touched on, oh, right, okay, yes, we're going to try and yeah, he doesn't support what Chief Sunday Igboho is doing in terms of trying to push away the Fulani from Yoruba land, and they should be instead focusing on the bandits. And and straight away he moved. You notice how he moved from talking about the issues of the daily killings going on in his state, of which he's a security chief, and he moves from that and talks about the Seriki been in that place for 40 years. And everyone knows that the Seriki, in case he should be providing answers as to why the Seriki in his own state has 3 checkpoints. The Seriki has, you heard me right, 3 checkpoints before you get to his house. Now, how many kings in Oyo state have such protection around themselves? How many? Is he aware of that? Is Seyi Makinde aware that this that the Seriki at the time before he left Oyo had 3 checkpoints, and it was at the second one at which if Dr. Aborode was going to complain to the Seriki about the fact that his farm was being destroyed by Fulani herdsmen. They caught him, they tied him to a tree, and he was hacked to death. At no point did you hear this governor, the Yoruba man, talk about the horrendous, horrific killing. And all he was saying is criminal. Well, if you say they are criminal, there's evidence that the people that killed Dr. Aborode were the same people working with the Seriki. What steps has Governor Seyi Makinde taken to actually arrest, get those people, get the Seriki to provide those people? Because they were connected. Dr. Aborode was captured at the second checkpoint. That's the evidence. But Governor Seyi Makinde will not go there. He's a poodle of the Fulani government. He doesn't care about the life of the Yoruba man, of which he's one, sadly. Now let's contrast that sharply with People's General, Chief Sunday Igboho. Contrast that. He speaks in Yoruba here. And translate it. Listen to this.
Family wa gbogbo àgbọn àtọ́ ń bẹ lókè òkun ò lè wálé ẹ̀rù ń bà wọ́n kọ́mọ́ jí wọn gbé gbogbo express ọ̀nà èkó ń bí káàkiri ọ̀nà Oǹdó Èkìtì káàkiri gbogbo lẹ́yìn Yorùbá Fúlàní jí wa gbé wọ́n pa wá so ìdí nìyí tàbí òfin ọgbẹ́ tàkà wọ ọ̀dọ́ ká jáde fúnra ká fáìtì ẹ̀tọ́ wa ká béèrè ráìtì wa lọ́wọ́ àpòpọ̀ yìí so ìdí nìyí tí mo fi ń ṣe pé ẹni Fúlàní ẹ̀sìn náà ajínigbé ni ó kò lórí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
So you heard that here. Let me translate what he said there. He said my brothers and Yoruba brothers and sisters abroad, they are afraid of coming home because they'll be attacked by Fulani herdsmen when they come home, abducted, raped, killed, and this is why he's chasing away. And let's not forget, Dr. Aborode, he left a very happy life in Germany, came home, created hundreds of jobs for people in his community, a big farm, corns, all manner of crops were grown on his farm. And the Fulani herdsmen took their cows right onto his farm and destroyed his crops. Now, when he destroys the crops, that means there's no job for those people who are manning and working those farms. So he went to speak to them. And that was what People's General, Chief Sunday Igboho, that was what he was focusing on. Now, if you go and listen, let me see if I can go back again and play back the Governor Seyi Makinde. You will see that he lacked any passion for his people. Great facts. He lacked any passion whatsoever. Let me listen a little bit more to this, to what Chief Sunday Igboho is saying here, and I'll try and translate it for you to see the compare and contrast, to see who appeals to the Yoruba people in Yoruba land most. Is it Governor Seyi Makinde or the man that believes in Yoruba people, has had enough of Yorubas and Fulani terrorists killing Yoruba people? The people's champion, the people's general, if Sunday Igboho. Let's listen a little bit more.
alágbà ti wà ní gẹ́gẹ́ àwọn ará gàngán ń confirm ẹ̀pá láàfin àti wà so kéde ẹ̀sìn bẹ́ẹ̀ nìkan mo sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ síwájú pé èsì gàngán nìkan ni àjẹkálà gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátápátá lápapọ̀ láti máa béèrè ẹ jẹ́ ká dúpẹ́ lọ gómìnà Ògùn State náà fúnra wọn náà sọ pé àwọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ wọ́n fi hàn pé àwọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ àwọn tí àwọn ń ṣèjọba lé lórí because tí gómìnà bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù tó ń ṣèjọba lé lórí Ògùn State kò ní gbà wá láyè pé káwá fèsì àwọn Fulani herdsmen náà.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there. Now, what he said there now was this. He said, how are things? They asked him how things were going on in Oyo State, in the Gongo area. I said, following their intervention in sending the Seriki out, there's calm in Igongo in Oyo State now. People feel a little bit safer now. in Igogo area because of the actions that he directly took. And furthermore, he was quite happy to hear from the governor of Ogun State asking for his hand. Asking for his hand. Yes. So, like we're saying, the issue here is the lack of passion. You will hear it. Just listen to the passion from the People's General, Chief Sunday Igboho. Listen. I'll play a little bit more. Then I'll go back and play to you the Governor Seyi Makinde. You will hear that he's completely emotionless about what is happening to Yoruba people, of which he is one. And you can see the passion coming through. The controlled passion of Chief Sunday Igboho, the People's General. Listen.
So fúnra ìjọba ló sọ pé ó ti tó gẹ́ fáwọn Fulani ẹ̀sìn torí pé àwọn tóun ń ṣèjọba lé lórí lẹ̀ ń pa.
So he was saying the governor of Ogun State called him and said the killing of Yoruba people is enough. It's enough. He doesn't want anymore. That's why by the Fulani terrorists. So he now, that is Governor Dapo Abiodun, again an admission that he has failed in his number one job, which is to secure the lives of the people, reached out to Chief Sunday Igboho to say, okay, come and flush out the Fulani terrorists who are killing our people, abducting them, raping them, and rightly so. Yes, and he's doing that. So let's listen on a bit more.
So
that is why he went to Ogun State yesterday. He was in Ogun State yesterday to flush out the Fulani herdsmen / terrorists from the Ogun State forests. And that is rightly so. It's rightly so that he did that. And he's not seen Governor Dapo Abiodun as of yet. That's the question they asked him. So he says, I've not seen the governor, but it's best that we first face the task ahead of us first before we meet the governor and all of that. Rightly so too. So he said that once we successfully get rid of the Fulani herdsmen / terrorists, then we can go back and speak to the government. But the task at hand is obviously the most important one. Now, let me go back and play you to see what I'm saying here. You just notice the complete, lack of care about the lives of the people that elected Governor Seyi Makinde, the Oyo people. He is the son of Oyo people. The Oyo people, Yoruba Oyo people, elected Governor Seyi Makinde. And he shows utter disdain for them and shows passion for the man, Seriki, whose people were the ones who hacked to death Chief and Dr. Fatai Aborode. Listen on. Let me just play that now. Get that to you. No, I don't want to get too far. Okay. 1 second. There you go. So,
security to lives and properties.
So let me just get you to which place I'm trying to get to now.
With the activist Sunday Igboho over the ultimatum given to Fulanis to
listen
leave
again
the
now.
state.
Listen.
What triggered all of this? Yes, Mr. Dr. Aborode was brutally murdered.
Look at the way he said that. Look at the way Dr. Aborode. There is no compassion. It's a matter of factly about somebody that's you. So this is why we're saying what we're saying. Yeah. Notice the way his lack of passion there. He just says it as a matter of fact about the fact that Dr. Aborode was killed by the Fulani headsman. But he quickly flips. Listen to how he suddenly talks and is very coherent when he's talking about the Seriki. And like we said, the people, the Dr. Aborode was killed at the second checkpoint of the Seriki from all accounts. I mean, this is crazy. Listen, you watch, judge for yourself.
That is a criminal. But on the other hand, the Seriki Alhaji Abdul Kadir has been staying in that same place for 40 years. So quite frankly, the people that were after are the criminals. They are the hoodlums, the bandits, the armed robbers, the kidnappers. Those are the true enemy of the state.
Can you see he's doing everything in his power to not talk about the fact that Fulanis, Yorubas have been complaining about Fulani killings? There is a video which I'm actually going to show you where the women are saying this. So don't take my word for it. Listen to the women say this about the Fulani headsmen. If I can find the video for you, I will, of course, put it up. Give me a second. I want to just find that video for you. Because I don't believe in just saying things. There is this passion. He's got this kind of lackadaisical attitude about this issue. And it is not one that should be accepted. Now, I'm going to do this. 1 second, please. Just give me a minute. I'm just trying to make sure I get the right information in the right place so that when we do go into it, you will see it come up. Give me a minute. You will hear the women speak in Yoruba. Now, well, maybe it might be a bit more complicated than I'll try anyway. I'll play it and see if you can. So here we go. So now I'm gonna just give me a second. So now let's have a look at this. And I will translate what they're saying. 1 second, please. Is that it? 1 second, please. Give me a minute. The ladies, they spoke and they're saying they want the Fulanis to go. They want them to be gone from their land because they're being threatened and killed all the time, and they're fed up with it. They've had enough of it. And the governor seems to be he's tone deaf. He's not listening to your people. He's not listening to their fears and their concerns. And that's one of the things that I am bringing to your attention today, that to have the governor be so dispassionate about the situation and not sort of address it and just think, oh, well, I can just, we can park that to one side, and almost what's the word? Just dismiss it. It's really quite unhelpful, to say the least. It's really quite unhelpful. Let's have a look. Can't find that information for you, but you will hear some women in the background. I mean, I played something. There were some women who are requesting for help, and they were quite supportive of what Chief Sunday Igboho and People's General is doing. In contrast that to what Seyi Makinde is saying, and it just doesn't seem to have any passion for his own people to stand by them in their hour of need. All he's doing is platitudes and just making comments about kidnappers and terrorists and rapists and all of that. But the people who are doing this stuff are Fulanis. They are destroying our crops. And ultimately, by the way, we're asking a pointed question. What compensation scheme has Seyi Makinde, this guy in the picture here? I'm going to just move it back. One second. So what compensation measure has Governor Seyi Makinde got in place? What compensation measure has Governor Seyi Makinde got in place for the hundreds, possibly thousands of farmers whose crops have been destroyed, some of whom have been killed, whose wives have been raped? Number one, has Governor Makinde got a compensation structure in place to make sure that any farm that's been attacked, that they're paid back for the destruction of their crops, because that's their livelihood, number one. Number two, anywhere where lives are lost, there's compensation paid on that front. That's two fronts. So what measures has Governor Seyi Makinde, and for that matter, other governors, have they got in place? Because we know that the Fulani herdsmen are killing Yoruba people in Yoruba land. So one of the things the governor should do to de-incentivize them from doing that is, if they know that they will get compensation for that, they are less likely to do that. That's all. This is part of the psychology, surely. So what compensation package has Governor Seyi Makinde got in place for the farmers whose crops have been destroyed and for whose lives have been taken, like Dr. Aborode and the lady, the lady who owned the petrol station, killed by Fulanis, and the 2 9-year-olds? What compensation structure has Governor Seyi Makinde got in place? Please, I want you all to partake in this. Let's ask that question. Let us ask that question. Listen, I'll put a stop to it here. Thank you for watching. You've been watching Citizen AY on Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. What we aim to do is to raise the level of awareness of Yoruba people. A lot of what we're doing is to make sure that we are able to hold those we have got in governance now to account, and to make sure that those of us, every one of us, now know why we are going for Oduduwa Nation. We are giving you reasons for you to know why we are going full steam ahead for Oduduwa Nation. The governance has failed. The entire governance structure has collapsed. We cannot trust any part of that system. We need to rebuild something with Oduduwa Nation. In Oduduwa Nation, all of these things will be in place. There will be accountability, there will be safety, there will be security. All of us will have a stakehold inside, the new Oduduwa Nation. We will be stakeholders in our own governance. As it currently stands, the fraudulent constitution has stripped that away from us. The 68 exclusive items has taken away many of the powers of the governor. The governor will tell you himself, even though he's the state security chief officer, he still has to go to the police, the federal police, and the federal army to be able to protect his own state. And this is part of the major issues we face. So, but with that said, I will stop here. Thank you for watching. I hope I hope you find this interesting. Please, as ever, do share. And I urge you all, subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. We need your support to be able to continue to reach more and more people. So please subscribe to us on Citizen AY on YouTube. Go and do so right now. Click on the red button once you get to the YouTube. The link will be posted above this this video once it's completed. And also, as ever, please, I would like you all to donate to the Yoruba Rescue Fund. And also, whatever you can give. We're still looking for vehicles. We need vehicles in all states to be able to get people to get around. We need vehicles. So once again, I want to thank you all. The broadcast is on Citizen AY, and as ever, we do that when we speak Yoruba, and we share it on other platforms. And then when we speak and do live broadcast, as ever, it's on the Oduduwa TV Radio. And of course, please subscribe to us on the Oduduwa TV Radio on YouTube as well. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. One more thing to just do before I go. I think we covered it all. Let me just make sure I got everything in there. Yeah. So just left me now to say, thank you for watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Thank you and goodbye.